In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 key principles to end all your suffering. And it's not the fact that you don't live in a beautiful place like this, where you can go to the beach every day, but instead you're in your 9 to 5 job, you're under artificial light, you're working, and you get home when it's night, or maybe you just got some crazy new breakout that is making you insecure and anxious, like I was 2 minutes ago before recording this video, scared that somebody might judge me, or the fact that you're struggling with all these issues, brain fog, acne, digestive issues. It feels like endless suffering on a day-to-day. The truth is, all these things, yes, they're gonna make you more unhappy, there's no doubt about it. If you're under the sun, with getting UV in your eyes, that is releasing hormones that make you happy. So there's no doubt that your environment will dictate if you're happy or unhappy. But suffering is another different topic, because suffering comes when you are going through repetitive and it seems like it's endless pain. That's where suffering comes. You know, if you do a 1 hour run, perhaps it's doable. Okay, I'm gonna run a marathon, let's do it 1 hour, or 10 kilometers, that's the average for 1 hour, let's do it, man. You put yourself through this pain, but it's okay because it's gonna end. Now if you're running for forever, now that's real suffering right there. It's when we feel like we don't have control over the situation, that's when it feels like suffering. When we feel like we are in control, like I'm gonna run 10 kilometers, that's it, this is my goal, let's do it, it feels good. It's the exact same pain, the pain of running these 10 kilometers, knowing I'm going to, do this, I'm going to achieve this goal, and then I'm gonna stop. And the pain of, running the same 10 kilometers, but you don't know when they're gonna end, and somebody's forcing you to do it. It's the exact same pain. But one feels good, it feels motivating, and the other feels like complete suffering. And so how do we do this, man? Because right now you might be on this treadmill, or it feels like it's a treadmill where you're in this bad environment, family situations, you're in this job. It feels like somebody's pointing you a gun and forcing you to run on this marathon, and it never stops. That's why it's called suffering right there, man. That's the suffering. Well, the ultimate reason why it genuinely hurts and it's genuinely painful is because you are thinking through the mind. You are thinking through the mind that there's something else to this life. There's this beautiful future. I am so much more capable. I can do and achieve all these great things. I could be in this beautiful beach like I am right now, instead of being at home, under artificial light, or in this job, or at school, or this new breakout. God damn it, this sucks, man. I could have clear skin. Or you're thinking about the past, about the times where you didn't had this problem, this issue, where you had clear skin, where you were free. You as a child, you used to go to the beach, you didn't have so-called responsibilities to go to this job or whatever. So life seemed perfect. And that's exactly why you feel like absolute crap, man. Because your mind is everywhere except in the present moment. Your mind is either daydreaming about the perfect life where you're in the beach, you have clear skin, you're eating the perfect diet in the world, everything is perfect. You have a beautiful wife on your side, you can retire your family with your business, you can achieve all these great things. But no, that's not where you're at, man. So immediately you feel a scarcity mindset. You feel like, oh man, I don't have this, I don't have clear skin, I don't have this good digestion, I don't have this stuff. Oh man, life sucks. Or you're going into the past feeling like absolute crap, because in the past maybe life used to be better. Oh, in the past I didn't have these issues, I wish I could go back. Or you're thinking about the past in a negative way, where you're thinking, Man, my family bullied me when I was a child. Like, all of them doubted me, man. Life was so bad. I am this way because of them. I have this addiction. I have these bad habits. God damn it. Guy of the old, Guy Santos, me of the old, like 2 years ago. You should have never watched porn in the first place, man. Why did you do that? Things like that. So, I've come to the realization that all of these issues come from a lack of being in the right now, man. And the reason why I say this is because, think about it, when you do a bad habit, when you just find yourself scrolling randomly, you pick your phone, you weren't even thinking to pick the phone, no, you just did it unconsciously. You just picked up your phone and started scrolling, and once you noticed, it was 2 hours. When this happened, or when you just randomly started shuffling a bunch of carbs, when this happened, were you actually present in your body? Were you conscious? Or you just did it unconsciously? Screw it, let's do it. It was an unconscious action to literally escape to the right now. Because when you're feeling these pleasures, doing these bad habits, you're in the right now. Like, when you have this pleasure, you feel the pleasure in the right now. And ultimately, that's what you're doing when you're doing these bad habits. Trying to escape to the right now, because your own mind is drifting, is either daydreaming about the perfect future, or, criticizing and feeling shame of the past. And so you try to escape all this fucking mental frustration by going into the right now with the bad habits. But guess what? If you are in the right now, you no longer need to do the bad habits, right? It's no longer needed. And that's why I believe every bad habit that we do comes down from a lack of mindfulness, a lack of consciousness. And you look at, the average person that is always operating out of pleasure or fear, listening to the news and never question themselves, oh, is this actually helping me, or is this shown for free with another purpose behind, maybe to put certain limiting beliefs in my mind? They've never questioned themselves that. Or, them going to parties, hooking up with a bunch of girls, drinking alcohol. They've never questioned in the first place, is this good for me or not? Why am I even doing this in the first place? They were never able to question themselves because they are purely unconscious. And I know you like to think you're better than them because you're in this self-improvement journey, trying to improve your health, trying to eat, you've been eating healthier, you've been training hard, maybe you already implement things like being in the sun, going to the ocean, cold exposure, all this stuff, eating seafood for good mitochondrial function, all that. But you still have some unconscious moments, right? Where you randomly snap back into a bad habit, where you just want to numb yourself by going to sleep or by daydreaming about the perfect life. You're still at the same level as them, man. Not the same level, but you're doing the exact same things, just in another level, okay? And ultimately, this comes down to the 7 sins. The 7 sins which are, I even wrote them down just to not mess this up. We have lust, gluttony, pride, greed, envy, sloth, and anger, like wanting to beat the hell out of somebody, things like that. At the end of the day, it comes down to these 7 things. You might just be channeling them on a different way. Like a more unconscious person, they will, do lust purely like, oh, let's go out, let's hook up with some girls. I'd say that's above watching porn and jerking off at home alone. That's definitely above, because at least you're connecting with somebody, socializing. But still, it's the same thing. And I used to watch Hamza, and I'll get into this in a second. Like, he's a big, I saw videos of him being a big hater on this topic that I'm gonna walk you through. Like, the ego is the enemy. He was a big hater on this, and he said that, no, you should have a lot of arrogance, like, be the best man of yourself. That makes sense, yeah, 100%, but I think he was truly hiding and coping to keep doing his lustful habits, which he stopped watching porn and jerking off, but he just went into another route of hooking up with a bunch of girls. Because I joined this community a few months ago, and what I saw in there was really disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting that. Like, just promoting a bunch of degeneracy. And that's just the same freaking crap that you were doing in the past as a child, watching porn, but now you just are on another level. Then with gluttony, for example, a lot of people struggle with sugar, struggle with eating junk food. I personally don't struggle with that at all. Because of acne, if I eat some junk food, this crap will go crazy. So I'm really thankful for that. But I do struggle on another level, which is with carbs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, today, man, I ate lunch with my family. I just had some ground beef, that was it. But at the end, as I was cleaning up the dishes, I kind of felt a bit like disappointed at myself. Let's say I feel like I'm not giving my best version of myself. So as I was cleaning the dishes, there was some rice in there. I started eating a bunch of rice. And this crap, this pimple right here, is from rice that I ate 3 days ago at a restaurant. I know 100% it's literally the cheat meal I had, man. I coped. I said, oh, cheat meal rice. Bam. Got wrecked by it. And today, the same thing happened, not gonna lie. It's still gluttony because I'm acting out of pleasure right there. If I was eating the rice for a higher purpose, let's say I'm gonna go run a marathon to literally for charity for these children that are suffering out of this disease or something. And I went in, I ate a bunch of carbs to win that race. I would say that eating the carbs would be acceptable in that situation. But today, no. I just ate it out of pure pleasure and hiding shame inside of me. That's why we do these bad habits, is to hide the shame and come back momentarily to the right now. And in that moment, as I ate the carbs, I can tell you, I was not conscious. I was not fully present in my body, because if I was, I wouldn't have done it. Then, things like I'd say pride. Pride, you know, you always look in the mirror, your book's maxing, you're like that clavicular, you know, that dude that's just promoting a bunch of bad values to the world. Just, he puts money above, you know, building, like he's going on these streams and pretty much, like I saw a video of him, you know, stealing this guy's girlfriend to then just dump the girl on the street, just purely shaming the girl. Like, there was no, he didn't like that girl. No, he just wanted to steal the girl to then shame her, like, oh, you're a hoe, you're on the street now. Now is that good values, like doing that stuff? No, he's just doing it for the views, for the money. And so, is that good values? No, of course not. So that's a level of pride. And even I'd say things that seem productive, like traveling the world. If you're traveling the world for that, you know, to go on Instagram, take those aesthetic photos, and seem like you're a totally different person, you want to know more about yourself, and then you are going to parties, like, yes, it seems productive, you're at least getting out of your comfort zone because you're traveling, but still, you're operating out of a bad place, not from your values, man. Not from good values. And so even things that seem productive, I would say they can be bad. Like traveling for the sake of your own pleasure, your own vanity of, you know, I want to feel better about myself, when perhaps, you know, if you worked on this business, on this mission, it would be way more impactful to the world. And in the end, you would get as a bonus traveling. You most likely would. Like, you could travel as a bonus while pursuing this mission. And it's kind of disappointing. It's a big disappointing thing I see in this society, is like everybody at least that you meet, they're always focused on themselves, like just purely a selfish, like it's me, me, me. But now that you're aware of these, like these 7 sins, it's ultimately what comes down to the mistakes that we do when we aren't in the now. We tend to go into these 7 sins, and they can be at multiple levels. At the end of the day, you must be very aware of yourself and know your weaknesses, like mine. You know, I'd say I struggle a lot more with lust. Like, I'd say pornography was definitely the biggest thing for me to hide out of my own shame, or like own feeling of not giving my best, because we are escaping this vanity of in our mind from the past or future, because we aren't in the right now. Why aren't we in the right now? Because we feel like we aren't operating at our fullest self. We feel like there is something missing. We're still not giving 100%, and maybe you create limiting beliefs of like, life is only perfect once I have clear skin. Life is only perfect once I don't have this job. You create these limiting beliefs. Therefore, you never allow yourself to be fully present in the moment, because you feel like the present moment isn't good. There's something missing. It isn't good. And therefore, you escape by either dreaming about the dream life or escaping to the past. You know, saying that the past was better, or it's because of this trauma, or some stuck emotions inside of you, or some random fugazi you're making up, man. Which, yes, past trauma is real, and there is stuff it is important to look back and see what patterns have you developed that have caused you to be where you're at, so you can untie the ropes. But if you're constantly living in this loop saying, I still need to figure this stuff out in the past, this stuff, maybe there's some hidden memories in there or something, you're always gonna be stuck. You're never gonna be in the right now, focused on the current actions that you gotta do. Okay, you've been messing up, maybe you've created addictions from the past. Nothing you can do about it, man. The only thing you can do is literally just make a change right now, not do the action again. And I feel like the solution to literally everything that I just covered, which is always never being in the right now, going back into the 7 sins, escaping, dreaming about the life, saying you're gonna make 100k a month, I'm gonna build this business, I'm gonna be rich, go to the beach every day and be perfect, health is gonna be perfect, oh my god. All vanity. Nothing but words, nothing but imagination. It's mental masturbation right there. Because a virtuous man acts, doesn't speak. So, the ultimate problem, as I was saying, is the ego. The ego that uses primarily time as its weapon to keep you stuck in this loop. And nobody talks about this, man. Nobody talks about this because the internet needs you to have an ego in order to watch the content, in order for them to make more money, in order for them to keep you hooked inside these beliefs, inside this programming. They need you to have an ego. If you are watching a video of somebody saying carnivore diet versus vegan diet, you're gonna engage in the video by saying, oh, carnivore is way better than the vegan diet is so bad. What about you just see things as they are? Simply see things as for what they are. Okay, so on this side we have somebody eating just meat. Like on a day-to-day they eat meat at this time, they eat meat at that time. Okay, that's it. And on the other side this person is eating some veggies here and there. And therefore, as a result, they get this, they get that, they get it. But perhaps, maybe some vegetables in certain scenarios could actually help in some way. And also the carnivore can actually help in some way, but in some other cases might not help, might cause other issues. Depends on the region you're at. Is it high deuterium meat, for example? There's so many factors to it. Suddenly, it's no longer a debate. It's no longer idea versus idea. It is. But in order for them to get you stuck in these debates, in these fighting ideas, and get you hooked in it, you must have an ego. You must be like, oh, this thing, this identity, these beliefs, and that's how they get you. While on the other hand, if you simply detach from the ego, which uses time, okay, so time where it's like, oh, today is 3 p.m. on a Friday. No, it's not. It just is. Like, it just is, man. Right now I'm looking at this view. There's no time in this. It simply is, man. Like right now, it simply is. It simply is, man. If I ask a plant or a Mayan, what time is it? They will just tell me, oh, it's the right now. And funny enough, with this level of thinking, I really got to some new level of understanding about life, man. Where I read in the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, right here, I read a quote that was, when you die and when a donkey dies, both of us are gonna look and be the exact same. When I die and when a donkey dies, we are gonna be the exact same, which is just matter. That's it. We're both just gonna be matter, atoms in this universe. So can I really say that I am better than a donkey? Not really. Because looking at the broader picture of the world, of life, in billions of years, I'm gonna be the same as him. Like, my energy will not disappear, because energy cannot be destroyed nor created, it can only be transformed. So when I die, my energy will be transformed to something else. And just like the donkey's energy will be transformed into something else, therefore we both continue on this planet, on this universe, just not as an identity, just not as like, oh, I am this body, I am Guy Santos, which is just a sound, it's a pure sound, it's something else. Our brains make us feel like we have this identity, like we are in this body. But if I look at the entire picture of my entire lifetime, you know, my energy which has existed for billions of years and that will keep existing, I am the same as a goddamn donkey in a way. I am made as the same matter as him. I am made as the same matter as the sand, as the ocean, as everything. And this is where the theory that God is in everything, is in everyone, comes from. Because it is. It truly is, because we are all made out of the same matter, all made out of the same thing that the universe is made out of, man. And that's why they want you stuck into thinking that you are this identity. Because they don't want you to realize the power that you have inside of you. You are literally made out of the same energy that the goddamn ocean is. You feel like it's different things. Oh, that's the ocean, this is Guy Santos. But that's just pure sounds. It's nothing else but sounds. And to a certain degree, maybe this sounds very weird to some people, because I've explained this to my parents and they are into chemistry, so they understand this stuff about atoms and all that. And they couldn't really say that I was wrong. They'd say something like, oh, but the atom structure changes, so it's not like it's you after you die. It's like some other atoms change and there's something else. But there's still the same energy, right? I don't carry the ego, the identity that I am this person, but I'm still gonna be in this universe in some way or another. So, and they also got me thinking stuff like, if we are able to like create a machine that is able to structure atoms in a way, then we can recreate people. Imagine if I pick the atoms of sand and, you know, through radiation I was able to convert it into the atoms of a person, then we could recreate that person. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. If you know more about it, let me know in the comments. Maybe the machine already exists somehow. And definitely exists, because they've already cloned sheep, for example. I believe that's through this process, that's how they did it. But you now realize how this identity, this body you're calling yourself, oh, I'm this person, I'm this, it's not real at all. That the only thing that exists is the right now. That there is no such thing as like good or bad, perfection, imperfection. There's none of that actually exists. That things are just things that simply are what they are. Everything is just what it is. And at the end of the day, I think God, gave us this ego, this identity, for us to be able to understand what I just told you. For us to be able to experience the universe as itself, because in a way we are the universe. How would I experience the universe being the universe if not by creating this illusion, this ego, this identity, for me to then be able to see the ocean, the sand, and be in a way be able to interact with my own self, like the universe or something. And it's kind of like there has to be dark to be able to be light. I think that's kind of why this happens. But I guess maybe we'll never know. I guess when I die we have a lot of time to think about how life actually works. But I'm just telling you literally how to end suffering as of the right now. If you are in a job which you hate, family members are causing you frustrations, all this stuff, simply you're not in the right now. And I ask any old person, like, how you doing? When you meet a person, you say, how you doing, as of a habit. You ask old person this, they'll start yapping about how their life sucks, they're full of pain. At the end of the day, they are comparing themselves with their younger selves. They're saying their life sucks because, it used to be better in the past. But guess what? If they were just spawned into the world and they were given this opportunity to live life, even if it was just 1 year left, you have 1 year to experience life, and they were just spawned into the world as these old people, they would probably not complain. They would actually be pretty happy. So they're feeling unhappy because they're not in the right now. And they feel like there is, a better life to this. Oh, in the past it was better. And it was actually through this thinking that I came across a lot of limiting beliefs I had. So, for example, a few weeks ago, I didn't have any school. My parents went on vacation, they weren't at home, and it was the perfect life, man. Perfect life. I woke up every single day super early, 5 a.m., watching the sunrise, the sunset, going to bed early, working. I made an entire 6-hour course which I posted on YouTube on how to heal your mitochondria. Got so great feedback on it. Like, just working out of purpose and just fully being there now. And I got zero cravings, absolutely zero cravings to jerk off, to lunch corn, none, zero, man, absolutely zero. It was fully gone. And I felt like I had quitted the ambition for the addiction forever. Like, it was over without any struggle at all, man. It wasn't more discipline, it wasn't more resilience. No, it was over. Like, just like that, overnight. Because there was no school, no family, I could just do my own thing. And as soon as my parents came back, I had some tutor, to study for this exam. Instantly the cravings came back like insanity, man. Insanity, like insanity. And I could be here like, oh, I gotta analyze the past, the self-trauma and all this stuff. I already know. I developed in 7th grade or 9th grade that I'd come from school, I hated it. I was getting bullied by my friends in a way, like they would be rejecting me, they'd be going out without inviting me. My own friends, I borrowed their money to buy something, they would never give me back. Girls didn't like me, was rejected many times. My friends took my girls that I liked on my back. All this stuff. So I started watching Korn as a cope, like to feel better. I didn't know any better, right? And also with family frustrations, I'd say. So just like that, if I eliminate school, if I eliminate parents, I no longer get absolutely zero cravings. When I say eliminating parents, I mean the pressure my parents put on school. Because I love my parents and I have a good time with them. But they're always pressuring me, school, school, school. And that's what caused me, I'd say, these cravings. I eliminate that and it's gone. So I could try some self-hypnosis stuff, or I can just literally reshape my environment to help me out and be in the right now. Like, you gotta shape your environment in a way that helps you to be in the right now. Because yes, I can say, oh, be in the right now, everything is perfect, but it's not that easy. If you're under artificial light, if you're eating food that was made in Teflon pans, you're eating carbs, you're getting full of acne, you're not getting sun, you are not eating seafood, microplastics, goddamn chemtrails all over your goddamn country, absolute artificial environment, you will have artificial thoughts like depression, suicide, and acne, brain fog, all these artificial symptoms. Of course, it's gonna be harder to be happy, right? And not suffer. But at least these are good things which are giving you signs on what is wrong. So you then analyze what mistakes have you been doing all your life, what were the limiting beliefs people put it on you, and therefore make a change in the environment the best possible way. Be around the best possible people, invest in the right coaches, mentors, like I've been doing, creating a greater brotherhood, and eventually you'll move out of your house, man. I'm not trying to be something, I'm just trying to do the right things. Always say the truth as it is, no matter the consequences that might happen. Do the right actions, act from my duty, act from a higher purpose, higher, value for the entire humanity, rather than just my own sake, my own happiness and acting from fear. That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you in this health space with all this nonsense of this guy is carnivore, this guy is vegan. That's identity, that's the sound, that's not even real, man. This person eats this and that person has ate that. Out of nowhere, the vegan person could decide, I'm gonna eat a steak, and they are not vegans. There's no such thing as an identity. You are not an addict. That's not something real. There's nobody that is addicts. There's no addictions here. Like, the only thing that's right is real, is the right now. And you can decide to never do that crap again. And you can decide, oh, I was never an addict at all. The ego makes it feel like addictions are real. Like, the past is still making you get stuck and not improve. But that's not real. Like, or that the future is going to be this, that. That's also not real. The only thing that's real is the right now, man. It's literally the only thing that's real. And Jesus lived in the right now. Alexander the Great lived in the right now. Maybe not the same right now as we are in. No, I'd say they lived in the exact same right now, but their energy just simply transformed into something else. Right now, Alexander the Great is a rock, for example, or a chair. Like, their energy transformed into the ground, they died, a plant ate their energy, the plant grew into a tree, somebody cut the tree and made a chair, and just like that, Alexander the Great right now is a chair. And I've never heard nobody put things into this way that I just explained to you, man. Because they want you to be inside the goddamn box, man. Everything is a box in this society. You go to school, what exactly is going to school? Because it seems like you are now some expert, like you are finally smart officially after you finish school. But let's take a look at what actual school is. You enter this room for 8 hours, you listen to this person, you get out of the room, and you do this for, let's say, 800 days, and then you get a piece of paper, and that's it. Oh, you're now smart. Okay, but what did you actually learn in school? Did you actually learn things that made your life better? That made you be able to put your creativity into reality, things like that, create a business or pursue a highest purpose, develop new ideas, make something better for humanity? Did you actually learn that, or you just memorized a bunch of stuff that this person this random person told you. And it's sad because the teacher is operating out of fear. Like, the teacher is showing up every day to work, not because he wants to, I'm gonna fulfill my highest purpose, I'm gonna tell the best things in the world. I did all the research yesterday at night to teach these children the best things in the world. Like, I want them to have the best future and make the best things in humanity. No, the teacher didn't think any of that. The teacher just showed up because they need that money at the end of the day to survive. Otherwise, they're gonna die. So the teacher is just blindly following whatever they tell them to teach. The teacher doesn't even have the free will to think what is better for these children. The teacher just teach whatever. Okay, they tell me to teach this, let's make the children memorize. I'm not even gonna think critically if this is good or not. Like, just throw it in the whiteboard. Let's put them this, okay? And the teacher needs that money. That's why he's doing it, or she, because it's fear. She's in the box. And do you think, for example, that rich people look at money the same way the average person does? Like a billionaire, do you think they look at money the same way average person does, man? They don't. Because an average person looks at money to be like, oh, I need $200 to then buy this random stuff, to buy this food, to survive. While the rich person looks at money in value. That's what money is, it's just value. For example, Jeff Bezos, he is a billionaire simply because he has given $1 billion worth of value to this world. Like, he has developed Amazon, which is such a valuable thing. You can get anything in your door, man. He deserves to have $1 billion. He literally has given $1 billion to the world, not through hard work. He wasn't like building buildings all day. No, he just had this idea. He hired, talked to people who knew things better than him, put those people in good positions, and just like that, he got the $1 billion of value. And that's why you can never say you don't have money. Oh, I don't have money. You do have money, because right now you have a shoe, for example. Okay, is this shoe valuable? Yes, it is. Maybe to that person over there, it's not as valuable, but to some kid in Africa, maybe it's even more valuable. So if I sell to that kid, he could maybe sell me for $1,000 this exact shoe, because it gives more value to him. And so just like money is subjective depending on the thing you're selling. Like, to a person you might sell the bike for $100, the other, they need the bike to go to their wedding, and it's about to happen right now. They're willing to pay $500 to arrive to the wedding on time. Bam, it's way more valuable, the bike. Therefore, they are willing to pay more. Same thing with time. Time is also very relative. The psychological time. You know, to a young person, it seems like time goes a lot slower. Oh, school never ends. I never get my driving license. This job never ends and it's Friday. God damn it. While to an old person, time just feels like it's flying by. Like, time is just flying by, flying by, flying by. The years go by like sand. And that's because they have a lot more perspective to life. It feels like 1 month going by is nothing compared to the entire life they've had, which is 80 years. So that 1 month slips by their hands. While to you, maybe you have like 20 years of life. 1 month doesn't seem that much because you only have 20 years to compare it to. So everything is relative. Everything has to do with your perception of reality. And that's why you simply need to see things as they truly are. Seeing things simply for what they are and not putting your beliefs, identity, none of that into this, man. Just enjoy life, like, just feel it, man. And with health especially, I fell into so many mistakes because of this. Oh, carbs are the worst thing in the world, they're gonna cause you acne. Okay, they might cause me acne in this scenario. Maybe if I'm in the winter, in a high latitude, yes, they could. But maybe eating some fruits in the tropics, okay, that could be okay. You know, it's the sun is gonna help deal with that insulin spike and the deuterium level, so maybe it's not such a big issue. That's why you cannot isolate things and just say it's this, it's that. Just be open-minded and accept everything. And that's how you can grow the most. That's how you can grow the most. You know, I could be saying things like my family is keeping me back, like they're the reason I get the cravings to jerk off and all that. But no, I'm open-minded to see what are the limiting beliefs inside of me. And as I told you, I understood that when the environment is mismatched, I must have a middle ground, be able to, okay, do certain things for them, but still focus on my highest purpose. And I always act in the right now from my highest virtues. Always be honest, say the truth as it simply is, never lie. This is gonna cause you more harm in the long term. See things as they truly are. And not put importance over like goals, oh, this must achieve and all. They will achieve. It's meant to happen, okay? It's like when you order something in Amazon. You know it's gonna appear in your door. Why are you stressing about it? The same thing is with your goals. When you order something, when you say to the universe, you write down, I'm gonna make 10K per month, 20K, 100K, it's gonna happen. Now just focus on the actions. Stop talking, just do the actions, man. Law of action is better than just the law of attraction, okay? Just focus on the actions, focus on the virtues, and be in the right now at all times. Doesn't matter your current appearance, doesn't matter the past mistakes you've done, just gotta do the right action right now. And that's as simple. Because the only thing that exists is the right now. All the energy that has existed in the past still exists. Maybe in another way, but it still exists. So that's beautiful, man. Now I'm gonna go for a ocean swim. I hope you got a ton of value, man. This is generally like the biggest insight that has ended my suffering. I may still be unhappy if I'm doing the wrong habits, scrolling, jerking off, being under artificial light, eating junk food. Yes, you're gonna be unhappy, but at least you're not gonna be suffering with this mindset. Even if you are in jail, somebody put you in jail, they cut your legs or something, you can still end the suffering if you're in the right now. Because you just gotta focus on what are the good actions I can do right now. And then the past doesn't matter, the future doesn't matter. All it matters is the right now. And you can feel the beautiful energy of the universe because it's always around you. Because you are part of it, as I said, man. So it's inside of you. God is inside of you. Just like it is everywhere. But please make this guide actionable. So what are the things that you can do on a day-to-day to keep you conscious of the right now, to be mindful of in the right now, to then do the right actions, to stay a healthy man of virtue. Every healthy man is virtuous. In order to do the right habits, you must be virtuous. You must be looking at things from a higher purpose. You know, looking at the higher good for humanity. So what are you gonna change in order to do that? For instance, if you have been just working this job for the sake of it, oh, I need money to survive, you can start thinking of ways on how to actually improve society. What mission do I have? What problem do I actually want to solve? Instead of just doing this job for the sake of it, what mission do I want to actually solve? Perhaps I want to end acne forever. That's my mission.